morning.
Welcome to
Athena
Heaven
StarSeed.
on Earth, a sacred portal to visualizing, meditating, and co-creating our highest joys that usher in the Golden Age of Aquarius. I'm your host, Athena StarSeed.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. We are at CRN Talk Radio in studio, Heaven on Earth, and I have my gorgeous co-host, Kim Hix from Hawaii. Aloha, Kim.
Aloha from Hawaii, which I'm happy to say is still here.
Okay, so beautiful Hawaii, beautiful. Oh, we got little hearts coming in. I have us on, Kim, again, Facebook Live. There's Kim over there. And I wanted to just open up again with our divine invocation. I have the goddess Kuan Yin, our beautiful avatar emissary of light for the divine feminine, behind us in the cosmos, supporting the light. And I'd like to just start out in a sacred prayer to juice up the energy. Take a nice deep breath and exhale. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light return to earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men and women. And let the Christ energy return to earth. In the center where the will of God is known, let the center guide the little wills of humanity, the center which the masters know and serve. And may it seal the door where evil dwells. And may the plan of love, light, and power restore heaven on earth. Om, om, om. And we're in, Kim. We're in.
Hallelujah.
Okay, so let's get caught up on what you've been doing this week and kind of the topic of the divine feminine and how she is emerging in her power.
Well, it's a great story this week. It's absolutely thrilling to me to see the emergence of the new feminine movement. It's so powerful and so well articulated, or becoming well articulated. I'm very excited about it. But I first want to mention that we just had this wonderful event happen, which was our missile scare. And I say it was wonderful because I got to experience the very quick evaluation of what is my life about if this is the end of it, and the making of peace with that, which turned out for everybody to be quite a grounding experience here. The hours after our missile crisis situation with the false alert had everybody kind of in a peaceful, dazed state about evaluating their lives and the quality of their lives and what it all means. So I thought that was a beautiful shakedown and a prelude to the emergence of the Women's March this weekend, which is coming up, and the great gathering that Claire Zammit held this week on her digital show.
It's extremely exciting because anybody who's ever been in a near-death situation or had something traumatic happen to them, it kind of forces you inside when there's no safety or structure outside. I mean, to think that you're going to die at any moment if a missile's pointing at you, and the contraction around that leads to the expansion that follows, because the faith of you to say, all right, if this is my last hour, who am I going to spend it with? And what am I going to do with my life force? And who can I help? And who do I want to call to tell how much I love them, to add, to contribute to their life? And I want to inspire everyone out there listening to the show, and also on Facebook. I'll take this back. Okay, cool. The Facebook people that are here now, think about 3 people in your life that you know that you can actually radically help or radically shift or radically change to help them empower their life. Because if this is, like, let's say we live every day to the fullest, this is the only day that we have right now, and we live in the power of that now. Who are those 3 people that we really can inspire, love, commune with, and help? And let everyone know that really our life is on purpose in that sacred act of contributing.
That's the primary principle of nurturance, well articulated, Athena. And it is the gift we can give each other. I mean, it's hard to even nurture yourself as much as it's easy to see someone else see a need, but past the need, to see the potential in someone with a luminous idea or super talent, and to help nurture that. These are going to be a phenomenal time of nurturance on this planet, because the feminine energy is about to fertilize the transformational consciousness.
Gives everybody that perspective paradigm shift. You know, I will just only relate to my own experience, which is being an athlete as a kid, and then at 11 having my legs being taken away from me and then put in a wheelchair. That adversity gave me a greater respect for when I started walking again. What did I want to do with my life? To be able to walk. And I took that that wheelchair experience into my personal training to help other people with things that crippled them, whether it was low self-esteem, or whether it was body image, or whether it was being in a dysfunctional relationship, whatever that crippling aspect where they felt disempowered, to inspire people back into their power, to realize things happen on purpose. How can I benefit from this experience? And what wisdom came out of the wound that happened to me at that time.
Beautiful.
And that is that transformational yumminess where you're like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the wheelchair experience. Thank you for the divorce. Thank you for the missile message. Because the missile message, I mean, it pushes you into your purpose.
It certainly does. It's just an immediate catapult into the sense of well-being. There's only one fear in dying that I have ever come to recognize, and that is the fear of not having lived. And if that's it, then it's time to be fully alive, and that's exactly what happens. And you can only honor the stepping stones and the stumbling blocks that you came through. Like to hear you speak of your wheelchair experience. It was a phenomenal ordeal, which you no doubt cursed in the beginning, Athena, but it's become your backbone, your strength, and your power, and now you fly, and I'm honored to be nurturing that as I have watched you take off, and I really appreciate that and your guidance.
You know, I feel that the universe, as she is, the beautiful divine feminine universe, she cultivates us to come in and out of our own labyrinth of our life. And I'm sorry, can you turn this up a little? The experience where you were diagnosed with cancer and given your kind of life sentence. And then upon that reflection, when you're already like, okay, I'm going to embrace my death. From embracing your death, like you said, then you can truly come out onto the stage of your own life boldly, proudly. Like Emerson, I would go into the woods to live deliberately, to suck the raw marrow out of life. And that type of courageousness really puts some power in then what you start to touch to turn to gold.
That's a very clear description of the situation. And by embracing it, I've had the opportunity to live life out loud now. I have no holds barred regarding living my life. And I think this is the message for everybody. This is the time of living out loud. We can now create the world in a way we want it to be. And that's what the women are marching about fundamentally tomorrow. And I'm very excited about all that. This is a thrilling period of history. An event is unfolding that is unparalleled so far in humanity, and it's being led and spearheaded by the feminine energy to co-create on this planet.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about the feminine movement and the feminine principles in the feminine movement, and what is that yin energy, where for me, a lot of women create the nest or the cauldron of creation, and then she invites the beings to come in, and creating that divine sanctuary. I mean, even from my own experience, my own home, like I love to light the candles before people come and burn the incense and have the lighting beautiful. And so, like in the Bible, what Jesus said, I will prepare a place for you. And so the women that can take that art from their heart and design a beautiful sacred space to invite people in to feel safe enough to expand, to be who they are, to come in to the divine feminine, to connect, to be interdependent with each other instead of competitive, to be collaborative, to be inspirational, to have a place where people can actually drop their robes of egoic, disposition and be able to be naked in front of one another and share their true essence, and then to be collectively supported for who they are and why they came to the planet. That's a very feminine thing, to not have to do, but to say to the women and the men in their feminine energy, your beingness is enough. Your beingness is enough.
This is the mythic undertone of the feminine and the energy she has always exuded on the planet. The hostess is the perhaps greatest role of feminine energy, always gathering together, always creating a safe sanctuary, as you were speaking of. And this is where the men have constantly gathered in the salons of Europe to create great art and make great leaps of consciousness, a la Jung and people like him. Developing the archetypes, but the feminine has always been present, nurturing it. The family art form of the heart is now going to go to the globe and take care of the entire human family. And we of the masculine persuasion are quite willing to support and thrive in this sacred environment. For we are anxious to be relieved of our honor and our commitments to the external world, and join you in the internal world. For your world is eternity, and ours is the moment. And we can only meet together in these sacred spaces that the feminine energy creates. And that's our nesting ground for us and our energy, and then we can return to face the world. When the visions of the feminine view of the planet and the potential for humanity are manifested and made clear across the lands, all the masculine energy will turn in support. Fathers and sons, brothers allied, we will help you in the unity of this new consciousness for all humanity. The well-being of all is always our deepest concern. Hallelujah.
Amen to that. Fair prayer, say I. First of all, I just want to say, Kim, your language and your poetry, I mean, it's just like, Rumi and Shakespeare, that will draw the divine feminine out of her own soul and bring her forward so that she will bring the fruits and the dances and the love and the culture and the creativity. And I want to go into the archetypes of the past for the divine masculine, and then the archetypes of the now for the divine masculine, because to have the divine masculine solid in their structure, it helps us to be able to be free in our formlessness.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the archetypes of the masculine. What were the choices and what are they now? The archetypes.
I'm just trying to recall. I just missed I don't have my notes on that, but there was the king, the kingship quality of the masculine, the magician, the warrior. We're going to a commercial.
So it's okay for you to find your notes, and we'll come right back into the archetypes of where we've come from for the men and where we're going. And this allows the women to dance through the fields of flowering. This is Athena StarSeed. This is a show called Heaven on Earth. And we want to thank you, Facebook Live, for being here. And we also want to thank all the people that are listening to CRN Talk Radio. We'll be right back after these messages.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the art of the masters, an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical room of the moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022.
Hi everyone, this is Fred Dreyer with some breaking news. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Highway 395 is my latest movie and is now available for all of my friends and listeners to own. Highway 395 is a classic modern-day Western thriller. Action, romance, and the frontier spirit. It's all there in my new movie, Highway 395. Now, here's the best part. You can own this movie tonight by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. Head to my website now at freddryer.co and check out the trailer. Then order the movie for a great night of entertainment. And while you're at freddryer.co, check out the memorabilia and my career highlights. But don't forget to order my new action thriller movie, Highway 395. So head over to freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co.
From traditional Hawaiian weddings and vow renewals to your own unique ceremony, find out why Ka'anapali Weddings is the perfect place to say, I do. Create the memory that will last a lifetime at the place you and your family know and love, Ka'anapali Beach Hotel. Imagine yourself and your loved one just steps away from world-famous Ka'anapali Beach in one of many wedding venues to choose from, including oceanside lawns, tropical gardens, or indoor banquet rooms. With your choice of catering, bar, floral, and musical options, you can make your special day customized just for you. Their wedding specialist will help you plan your dream wedding today. For more information, visit ka'anapaliweddings.com or call 661-0011. Ka'anapali Weddings, the perfect place to say, I do.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain.
Hi, this is Athena StarSeed, and we are back. I have a little more in that. And we're back. Can we hear it? 1, 2, 3, testing. Okay. Yes. So we were talking about archetypes, and I think that that's noteworthy because basically our personality constructs typically lend themselves towards admiring movie stars or political figures. Certainly children like to model superheroes. And when we're talking about the archetypes, and we actually pulled our tarot card this morning, and it is the lovers. To have the balance of the divine masculine and feminine, we have to kind of contextualize what our new roles are. And in the past, we were talking last night, Kim, about how the masculine loves the warrior character, and they have really polarized the last 2,000 years to be in the conquering adventure of that soul, and that's lost a lot of our heart connection by conquering and dividing. So let's talk about the healthy perspective of the lovers, where the male can choose another archetype and see how that flourishes to empower the divine feminine.
Well, it's a great topic of conversation, but the 4 basic archetypes in the masculine arcana, at least being brought out in the men's circles in our modern mystical men's groupings, which, by the way, are coming along parallel to the feminine on a much smaller scale, but nevertheless very exciting. Kingship, the magician, the warrior, and the lover. And of course, we drew the lover card. So I'm going to start with the lover, the context. But the first experience of the masculine is to be loved, and that's with his mother. And then this grows, and then he becomes a lover. And then he becomes a father. And these are the 3 great roles of the masculine in relationship to the feminine. And this is the card of the relationship of duality to discover its relationship with itself and create a singularity or a unity. This is a huge quality of life that is really probably at the core of all passion and desire and compassion in universe, is to leap across all the boundaries of separation. And those separations have really been generated under the warrior archetype. There's no doubt about it. So the conversion of the warrior to the other archetypes that are more useful now in these times is the most important personal endeavor we can make. And this involves the great mythology of Theseus. Theseus goes into the labyrinth to slay the Minotaur. Well, the message there is basically the masculine must, as the final act of warriorhood, destroy his own ego. And then he is ready for the lover and the unity of the feminine. And Ariadne in that mythology laid out the thread, and she is doing now. She is reeling that thread back in. She is calling Theseus out of his battles with the dragons and the minotaurs onto the threshold of the loving ground. And that is where we are right now in this new unity of masculine and femininity.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, men, just as a beautiful side note, the divine feminine really, she wants to nurture, make love to you, and take care of you. And we want to do the same thing with children and with our communities and with our countries and with our constellations and with our multidimensional universe. And when men know that, they don't have to ever feel threatened by that. I mean, women are drawn to strong masculine energy. And we want to surrender to that. To have a woman in her power fully surrender to the divine masculine, she wants to see him in his multiple dimensions of archetypes, with the warrior being the protector of that feminine energy and the lover engaging in the dance and the sacred act of loving. And that's an art in and of itself. Can you talk about that? Like how can the masculine love the divine feminine?
Well, the masculine has to go and earn his way in this universe. He has to go on a journey of self-discovery in order to find out who he is. The feminine, to the feminine energy, she finds her path in life because it comes to her. You sort of find yourself pregnant and becoming a mother, and the role is thrust upon you, but the masculine must discover it. So part of the angst of this modern civilization was the journey of the masculine out to go and return to discover his great sacred home is the feminine herself. And that is kingship.
Beautiful. Okay, so we have another commercial break, and it's just exciting. One thing after another. These little juicy tidbits. So this is Athena StarSeed. I am the host of Heaven on Earth with my co-host Kim Hix. We'll be back after these messages.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Enjoy Tiki Live, the best cable alternative choice today, with hundreds of premium live TV programming, including ESPN, CNN, Fox News, Disney, AMC, Bravo, XF, OWN, and CRN Talk. Plus no contracts and low month-to-month service. Tiki Live, servicing North America, including the Caribbean. To get started, visit TikiLive.com to order hundreds of channels, including CRN Talk, at a fraction of what you're paying today. Visit TikiLive.com. That's TikiLive.com.
Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain.
Hi, this is Athena StarSeed, and this is a show called Heaven on Earth. And Heaven on Earth is really about each and every one of us opening up our heart chakras to our own heavenly treasures and then bringing them forward to the planet and to Mother Gaia and sharing who we are, why we're here, and what we intend to create with our brothers and sisters on the planet. Welcome back, Kim Hix. We were talking about the archetypes, and you were just about to tell us about how the masculine, moving from the warrior and the king into right relationship with the divine feminine for support, becomes the lover.
Yes, the lover is now become, there's a transcendental quality to what's going on, because the culture of romance only began recently in the Middle Ages, and that was personal love at a spiritual level. Well, now we're having a similar effect, but the excitement about these times is we're discovering universal love, and it's even more powerful than personal love alone. And so this is the time, and this is the kind of love that the feminine is carrying into the world now, and to which the masculine is responding. Our great task of defense and protection is largely over. Now we have the task of inventing a culture that is truly worth living in a co-harmonious, collaborative, conscious, co-creative environment with you. We are here to return to the dance. We are warrior. Consider us an army coming home from a success of defense and protection, and we've enclosed our planet with a technology that now permits the unification of the heart. And that is what you of the feminine persuasion will carry to all corners of the world, asking for transparency, eliminating corruption. The Women's March is about upending the entire political system. That's what's happening. And at your core and your core values, we will now align with and help serve because we too want to join in that dance.
It's so beautiful. And that leads us to our beautiful guest in studio, Adrian Vallera, who has started such an incredible movement called the Disclosure Fest. So, Adrian, welcome to Heaven on Earth. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Athena. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Kim.
Hi.
How are you doing?
We're doing great. And I wanted you to tell them, okay, you're a channel, you're a mystic, you've been doing crystal healings, but let's go from your background. You come from the music industry. Talk about that for a minute.
Right. Well, man, from childhood, teenage years, I was renting out people's backyards and doing parties. And then I started doing raves and promoting concerts on the Sunset Strip, at the Whiskey A Go-Go and the Roxy and the Palladium and the Palace. I started a lot of big bands like Linkin Park and System of a Down.
Wow,
Stank,
dude. Wow.
Yeah, then went to the record companies and started doing A&R. But I was always that guy that everyone's like, oh, here comes Adrian. He's going to talk to you about aliens and crystals. Watch. And then that's what I would do. And I would just bring that type of vibe into the music industry because it is really cluttered in more of that greed and kind of dark energy sometimes. And just got to bring the light into everything you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then did you have, I mean, obviously you seem to be bright as a child and to handle and I say the bright in reference to holding that light from 5 onward, where some people get covered in the density of the reality and burdened. You seem to have maintained your own resonance to bring light wherever you went. Were you always awake, or was there a spiritual awakening?
There was a spiritual awakening in like 91. It was a UFO experience.
Oh, talk about that.
Yeah. No, I started seeing UFOs. In my childhood, I started hearing more paranormal activity that was always, getting my attention and making me wonder. We were raised Catholic, so I was always in the Catholic Church, and then there was this part of me when I was a child, just hearing things outside my room or in my house, or seeing a spirit, in my house. And then the final real awakening was a UFO experience. From there, the crystals came into my life, and I started channeling healing, and that's kind of like where it went from there.
Okay, so just a second. We have to go back to the aliens. So I hold on, Facebook. This is really riveting. So Kim, I went to what's it called in the desert? It's not Disclosure Fest. It's called
Contact in the Desert.
Contact in the Desert.
Yeah.
It's called Contact in the Desert. I went, and I happened to be just at a booth helping some people, just volunteering. I was like, I want to just volunteer and help people. But across from me, I heard this fascinating lecture about how all the top musicians on our planet had ET contact, from John Lennon to Michael Jackson to The Doors to Jimi Hendrix, and they had a Pleiadian encounter that helped them with their harmonics, with their messages, to globally shift consciousness through sound. So did you get any ET harmonics? I mean...
Well, in the music industry, I met a lot of amazing, I don't want to talk about who they are, but some really big influential artists out there that were connected to Pleiadians. It's so weird you just said Pleiadians, because they were like, one of my very close dear friend, I don't want to name his name because I don't know if he wants people to hear about this type of stuff, but he would draw in his sketchbook Pleiadian after Pleiadian, and then his lyrics were very multi-dimensional.
Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie.
Yeah, no, totally.
Pleiadian contact.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Well, music's like one of our huge podiums, so it's a way to get out there. It's probably one of the reasons the Illuminati really focus on the music industry and the film industry, because it's a way to get to everyone, and so are the ETs. So it's a balance.
I think sound, informs structure. So sound creates form. So the sound waves can actually create different effects, just like they do on sand mandalas, just like they do in our DNA, and just like they do with sonar with the dolphins.
Yeah.
You can navigate through sound. Sound has particles of data in it that will open in a song and take you on a visual trip. So big things right now in Los Angeles are sound baths. They're huge.
So big.
Yeah, and we're going to have some sound baths at the Mystic Journey every Sunday. We have an 11:11 service that we're going to have all the clothes donated, and you're going to pick them up.
Yeah.
But after the Mystic Morning Messages, where I'm oracally channeling this stuff, very similar, we're going to have people lay down in the sound and then go inside and get their own coordinates.
Yeah, exactly. Get their downloads.
Get their
beautiful.
downloads.
Yeah, no, sound baths I love that sound baths are just growing so big these days. And they're everywhere. And it's so important to get in tune with your chakras and allow all this cosmic information and your downloads and DNA codes to come in and get all these messages from spirit guides and spirit animals and
then you can take direct action. So that leads us to, and Kim, I want to include you in this. Adrian, how did you create the Disclosure Fest? And tell us about exactly what disclosure for you means.
Well, Disclosure Fest, it's funny. I was talking to Kim about this yesterday. Like I said, I was in the middle of doing a movie and casting it. And I went on a hike in Topanga. And I did I'm always in I do meditation every morning and every day. And this all came to me during a really deep meditation I was doing, just like most of my healing work. And I just put the movie on hold, and it's been Disclosure Fest ever since.
So describe, your mission statement. What are you disclosing?
So we are basically, we are an initiative and community-based nonprofit organization. So we focus on our initiatives, the Clean Our Air initiatives, which is tree plantings, forest restorations, restoring waterways, getting community together to be grounded, putting their hands in the soil and giving back and feeling that energy between themselves and Mother Earth, which Mother Earth is starving for that energy right now and that connection. Our beach cleanup initiative, where we go out and just clean our beaches and protect our marine life, and again, feet in the sand.
Sand.
And we did over like 65, almost 7,000 pounds of trash, and we're talking about cigarette butts and styrofoam. It's like light stuff. Think about 7,500 pounds of trash. It's insane.
Wow.
And then we have our mass meditation initiative, which is a festival. Everyone's and that is just getting community together to do workshops, ranging from past life regression to plant-based preparation to Ayurveda, dozens of types of yoga, a couple stages of speakers, music. I mean, there's sound baths on the main stage.
Thank you for that. You're like the only festival that puts a sound bath on the main stage.
Yeah, and it's cool. So we had over 4,500 people there throughout the day, and on this last one we did in 2017, and it was this is not really a normal festival. It's an activation festival.
It's an activation.
And I still hear people to this day. I run into them at some of our other initiatives, and they're just like, "Man, something happened to me at that festival." And I really, I have to hear the whole story. You know what I mean? I just sit there. I don't care what's going on. And then it's our new initiative, the Feed Our Souls initiative, which is bringing awareness to our homeless brothers and sisters on the streets. And we're going to be doing annual 4 clothes drives every year, where we have multiple locations in Los Angeles where you can drop off clothes. And then it all ends up at a little mini Wandering Brothers and Sisters Festival. It's only for our homeless. And
oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, and we're going to have one coming out in March, and we'll keep checking back for that date. It's going to be awesome. All you healers can come out and help.
That's beautiful.
Sounds fabulous. Yeah, fabulous.
No, Kim, go ahead and jump in. You guys can.
No, I'm just, the mere notion of sort of this festival of gratitude and appreciation being brought into bringing the homeless or us into their circle or them into our circle, being all unified. I mean, I'm always reminded that in India, the homeless person is a sadhu, a spiritual seeker, and here our homeless are so heavily disregarded. And I love the way Adrian speaks of our brother and sisters, and that changes the field ground from them to us immediately. Beautiful. This is great work.
Now, at this festival, will you be like allowing them to vend and like do their art and then have them sell their wares, or can they practice their music? Can they get on stage at the festivals that you're cultivating for them?
Right. And some of these amazing brothers and sisters that we've run into are artistic, and we're welcoming that so much. So I look forward to actually seeing and having that cultivate into something very beautiful, because there's a lot of promise in that, and that's where they get their power back, and they,
of course,
feel inspired and feel connected again, because it's really, there's this disconnect, and it's part of what is really going on with this, So
I want to jump in and just say, Adrian, how impressed I am with your coming forth in the great fathering paradigm, that the natural instinct to be an older brother in these kinds of situations is phenomenal. It's one of the highest functions of masculinity. We're all trying to give birth to something, and that's what you're giving birth to. You've given birth to so many of these things. What a great initiative.
What's really powerful is that everyone is an aspect of the one. Yeah. So when you see yourself fragmented out in those fractals, those people that are home free, that are free to have Earth as her home, and then they're walking about, what they really want, because I've been on the streets with them too. I've been down to Venice. I've been feeding. I used to put together concerts at the Talking Stick in Venice to raise money for Mahalakshmi, who would feed. And they want an alternative society to choose from. And right now they're unplugging from something that doesn't work. And so for you to present another opportunity, it's like, in the Matrix, the red pill or the blue pill, you're presenting an alternative world where they can contribute and collaborate and actually be honored for who they are. And that's what Claire was talking about in her Feminine Rising, the power of the divine feminine, is actually being honored for the essence of who you actually came here to be. And it's a struggle for women in general, even with a job and a house and everything else. Is it safe for me in this society to be honored and to be supported for who I came here to be?
Oh, exactly. It's so safe, Yeah.
Talk about the divine feminine and what kind of work you're doing with women in regards to that.
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up. It's been coming up a lot these days through my channeling and meditation, that that the divine feminine and our great mother Gaia, there's a connection that really needs to be worked on and solidified. That is all part of this ascension process that we're doing. Our great mother Gaia is in this ascension timeline with us, as well as every other civilization out there in this universe. And in a way, we're holding back a timeline. And what I've been getting from a lot of my meditations with our great mother Gaia is she's starving for the feminine attention and connection. And the divine feminine and these amazing goddesses seem to sometimes be distracted by so many things that are in our fields here. And just getting up every day and going out and sitting on the grass and the sand and the soil, and just bringing that great energy into your body and breathing it with it. And then the other thing, besides being completely grounded for the divine feminine, is earth gridding. That is something that I've been getting so much, where please meditate and channel these grids. There's always going to be 3 points, and these 3 points will need to be activated, and meditate on these markers and travel and lay your footprint and activate earth grids.
This is so beautiful. We are going to come right back we'll come right back after these messages, and we're going to get those 3 points.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so please hang on, stay tuned in for that, and realize that you are the divine art of your own life. This is Athena StarSeed, the host of Heaven on Earth, and we'll be right back after these messages. Love you, Kim.
Deva
experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Manetti. Go to LarryManetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryManetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. Wake up today without pain. Wake up every day feeling great. Avi Natural's new turmeric curcumin, used daily, makes life better, helps relieve those achy joints, gives you the freedom to be as active as you want. Avi Naturals helps you wake up every day feeling great. Go online to avinaturals.com, use promo code CRN and get 25% off your order today. That's spelled AVIE naturals.com, promo code CRN for 25% off. avinaturals.com, CRN.
Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Rain. Supreme grace, light rain down through me. Supreme grace, light rain down through me.
We're back. This is Athena StarSeed, and I am the host of Heaven on Earth with my gorgeous co-host Kim Hix from Hawaii and our in-studio guest, Adrian Vallera. And he's going to come back in the last 4 minutes and tell us our 3 major things that we were cultivating.
Okay, cool. Yeah, coming back to that. So with me, it seems like always ending up with 3 markers. So women that are traveling, and you've probably already been doing grid work and you're not even knowing it. Meditate and remember like markers, like rock formations, landmarks that just stuck out to you for some reason, like that flash of genius. For some reason, it's just in your head. And meditate on those markers. Find out what those 3 markers are. And if you're channeling and figuring that out for the first time, travel and lay that footprint down and activate those markers by meditating and seeing those markers come alive with light, and then just drawing your triangle and finding out what that actual grid is for. Because, you know, and trust yourself. So step into your power and trust yourself, and do some grid work. It's really amazing. I've already did 2 grids in the last few months, and I just keep finding women and these amazing divine feminine goddesses out there just doing the work. And it's so important because it all starts with the divine feminine and the divine masculine supporting and creating community.
Yeah.
So bringing community together and supporting our amazing goddesses out there that are, you know, activating this ascension timeline for us. It's all about you women.
Amen to that fair prayer. Kim,
Yes.
You have been supporting the Divine Feminine since I've known you for the last 15 years in so many beautiful ways, building goddess structures, architecture, laser shows, your poetry, your music, singing to the Divine Feminine. How did you find that in yourself?
I found it in the process of searching and seeking for a way to end the war, because I was wrapped up in that. And that path led me straight to the heart of the Divine Feminine. And I want to bring up what Claire Zymet said in this phenomenal gathering of women this week. Claire is with the founder of Feminine Power. She said, "It's my conviction that our highest possibility is not to be in reaction to the world as it is, but to ignite our power as creators to shape the world as it could be." And the whole path forward for me became an unfolding as I realized that it's feminine energy the masculine seeks, and it's masculine energy the feminine seeks, and together that is the transcendental unity.
There's nothing more beautiful than this card, because I'm going to show everybody this card. This has got the Archangel Raphael over top of the lovers. And what that means is heaven is blessing this union. Heaven is blessing the union of these lovers. And these lovers have specific roles to play. We fit like puzzle pieces, not just in making love, but just in general. Like when Adrian was like, okay, I had a vision on a mountain. He came back, he built a platform, and now everybody can play in it. That's a very feminine energy with a masculine component to actually architecturally create it.
Yay. Thanks for saying that. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So beautiful. So this went really fast. We just wrapped it up. Oh yes, please plug into the festival, thedisclosurefest.org. Make sure that you get on their email list. Kim, I love you so much. I will see you soon again. And if you're just tuning in, please subscribe to the show, share the show, get your light workers on the path, because we're going to start opening up the White Light Railroad to get all the light workers traveling the grid in their sacred activism. Thanks, Kim. Love you, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Tina.
Blessings. It was a pleasure. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So amazing.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself